All right, Travis, you can switch over to the next slide, which is fascia and windows. Obviously, as we're progressing, these are going to get more and more, dangerous or risky for the technician. So, as we get further into this, these are the ones we're going to want to really pay attention to as we communicate. So these elements are probably going to require a ladder. So we need to know if there's a suitable ladder at the branch available to do the job. And again, I'm going to be beginning with the branch managers. We'll get the sales folks a list of what we can and can't do. And obviously, if there's any equipment that we should have that we don't, and any salesperson is getting kickback on that, I would suggest that you reach out to Travis, or you can even reach out directly to me. Obviously, we want to make sure we're making our customers happy, and we want to take away any excuses not to set them up with awesome service. So if that is ever an issue, just reach out. I highly doubt it's going to be. Is there an area that's safe to place the ladder? I think the obvious thing is to look at the side of the house and go, okay, they can reach up there. A ladder will get to that spot, but we need to start at the ground level. We need to understand if there's good footing for that ladder. I know specifically like in Utah, let's say we're talking about Park City, there's a lot of slope on some of those homes. They have a lot of decorations, they have a lot of landscaping, so they may have rocks or loose soil. Let's keep an eye on that and notate if there's anything that's questionable. And if you're at the point of sale and it's questionable, let's contact somebody immediately so we kind of save some pain there if we end up not being able to do it. The third story windows and fascia may not be within reach. So again, it's really important to understand, our equipment, what we can and can't do. We're going to get into this later, but a big deal and a big thing I'm going to be pushing for is taking photos, or reaching directly out to the branch manager, the applications manager, or maintenance manager, whoever's, dealing with Decor, to find out there on the spot. Next slide, Travis. So ridge lines and second story lighting. The above elements will absolutely require a ladder or access to the roof surface. We have to follow OSHA regulations for tie-off. For those of you that don't know, about a year ago, it wasn't Decor, but it was pruning. They spotted us without proper PPE, and we got slapped with a pretty hard violation and fine. And as far as OSHA goes, the more fines or violations you have, the more likely they are to kind of make regular visits. And so we want to be safe and stay off their radar. And that's going to be something huge that I'm communicating to the technicians about as well. So please notate, where the tie-off point is, if it's available, and if it's feasible to do the work. What roofing surface does the customer have? We don't do tile, slate, concrete, cedar shakes, or some metal roofs. So again, I just don't want you to go through the trouble of creating this awesome bid for this customer and designing it, setting it up, and we forget about the roof, and our technician gets out there and we just can't do it. Not a good look for us with our customer, and also kind of wasting some time with our technicians, which isn't really fair to them. So again, when in doubt, just ask somebody. Make sure we have other access, or inform the customer up front about what we can and can't do. Obviously I've heard stories about signing people up with Decor and how excited they are, and I think that that's a little contagious. And in those moments, you don't really usually want to disappoint anybody, especially if they're trying to buy. So it's really important that we understand, again, what we can and can't do, and we set those expectations right off the bat. Travis, next slide. So Decor crews, I have a golden rule. I've always had it since I was a branch manager at my last gig. I tell the technicians that one simple thing: if it doesn't feel safe, don't do it. So there may be moments this year when the Decor crew gets out there and either it's a weather condition, or maybe wasn't sold correctly, or something's changed on the landscape. If they don't feel like they're going to be able to do the job safely, we're just not going to do it. Now, that being said, we're absolutely going to follow up on it. If that's the case, that will be given to the branch manager, and they will either go out there in person and review and figure out if it is safe or not. And if we determine that it's not, we're not going to do it. It's not worth it to put anybody at risk. So a big way that you can help that is notating the map if there's special conditions that the crew should know of. Again, just, it's the same theme. It's just communicate, communicate, communicate. If you see something when you're out there making the sale that's going to be valuable for the person that's out there producing it, let's notate that. Because obviously we have crews that, put all the lights together ahead of time. And, before they go out for the day, they look at what jobs they have. And that information before they leave the branch is going to be huge. So examples would be, take the large ladder for the second story window. The tie-off point is in the tree in the backyard. The production guys and the sales guys don't always cross-communicate, but I do know, being in branches, that's super appreciated when that's done from the technicians. And I know that when they get that kind of information and preparation, they're going to do a good job, which makes you look awesome and makes Senske look awesome. Not being prepared puts our crew at risk, or at risk of disappointing the customers when they're rescheduled. This is a little bit redundant, but again, the crew has the final call about what is safe. Weather, daylight, equipment, and scope of work all will play into their decision. So one thing that's awesome that I think we've been doing and had the foresight to do is early installs in October. My first year here at Senske, I was, the director of operations. And so it was pretty unique because we had branches that were ahead, and whenever we had a new sale, we could get it done right away. And we had some that were behind, and that was already, we were coming out of the gate with some disappointment with the customers. And so our goal, just so everybody knows, is to get this work done early, get it done efficiently, do a great job, be safe doing it, and really free up that time, specifically as we get close to Christmas and we have those people that kind of make those last second decisions. But again, just to be clear, if we have a crazy storm and there's ice or snow on the roofs and we don't feel safe doing it, we may not be out there for a couple days. But make no mistake, the operations team knows that it is their job to get that work done. And that's when it comes in, the ball comes into their court for communicating that back to the sales crews. So next slide, Travis. This one kind of cracks me up because Chris made this, Chris Weaver. Ask a grown-up. If you're not sure, pick up the phone. If you don't know what the right answer is, pick up the phone every time. If you don't know and your direct supervisor isn't picking up and it's important, call the next person in line. And if you can't get a hold of enough people, call Travis. And if Travis can't answer, call me. The idea is that you have this network of people that can help you make the right decisions, because we want to put you in a good spot too, right? This next one, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but take pictures and show them to someone on the install crew. Again, I'm going to ask the branch managers to do this safety committee and have it be revolving around Christmas decor. But one big thing I'm going to ask is that we get pictures on pretty much any account we sign up. It's a simple, easy process that doesn't take any time. And it really gives the crews, or at least the managers, an idea of what's getting sold, what it looks like, and it's an extra set of eyes. So let's make sure that that's happening. I'm going to be following up on that quite a bit with the branch managers and Travis and Matt and Chris. But I think that's kind of a no-brainer to help the crews understand what they're up against when they're showing up to the properties on any given day. And you need to understand that our people are at risk every time we leave the ground. The sales part is awesome. We couldn't do it without you. It's fantastic what you do. We're growing at a crazy rate. We continue to increase our prices and people continue to sign up. In fact, people that are, I don't want to steal any thunder. I'm sure they're going to cover this later, so I should be careful. But people that are charged more retain higher. I mean, they love our services. So, it's obviously fun making those sales, but just please always remember at the end of the day, that's a technician that is climbing up on a roof, and it may be 30 degrees out or 40 degrees out. It may be snowy, it may be rainy, And they're putting themselves at risk every day to bring some joy to our customers and to grow the business. So Travis, that's all I had for the slides. Just so everybody knows, we want to do more things like this, whether it be video training or breakouts for different items. And I will be in Boise next week and Salt Lake next week, so I'll be in both locations with Chris Weaver, and we will be doing some training for the technicians. So obviously anybody that's listening to this, if something comes up or you have questions or you just want to kind of talk decor safety or whatever while I'm in the branch, feel free to talk to me or shoot me a note ahead of time. Again, I just want to make sure that I'm somebody who can assist you in making sure that we follow value number one, which is do it right, do it safe. And our value 4 is dedicated to growth. And obviously you guys and girls come into play huge on this one. Wanted to let everybody know, wish I was there. I appreciate everybody that's making this thing happen. Beyond just safety, I hope that this makes you feel good, but remember that other companies that are similar to us, they don't have decor as an option. And so they're laying some technicians off in mid-October that would like to work. And because of the hard work that you guys do and girls do, just think that every time that you make a sale, you are keeping somebody employed a little bit longer that wants to be employed. So that's awesome. Appreciate everything you're doing out there. And again, if anybody has any questions, reach out.